They say it takes a village. We actually have a village.
Yeah.
And that's how we've navigated marriage from the beginning. I call Van wife. That's my nickname for her. And that's my nickname for her because it's a privilege. And I didn't know that we were going to get that privilege. Not in the States, wasn't even sure about our lifetime. And then we got it. And so that's what I call her, because who knew?
I call her babe.
It's true. I like wife better. I like calling her wife. It means something. Yeah.
Marriage is hard and it takes a lot of work, and that's regardless of like who's married. She runs hot, I run cold. Like the first week we were married, I was like, the rest of my life I'm gonna be cold in this car and in this house. And
she
everywhere
loads
we go.
the dishwasher incorrectly.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to wash our clothes because she reads tags.
Yeah.
I think the biggest misconception is that it's not the same. That we don't wake up and choose each other every day. That we don't have to navigate school drop-offs and childcare pickups and the never-ending question of what are we having for dinner tonight. I think it's really that people are focusing on the conception of stigma instead of really focusing on the shared humanity. That we're just like any other married couple that has to check in and call each other and can you pick this up on the way from work, and I'm making sure the car gets serviced, and it's just like any other marriage. We love our kids.
I'd like to say we have more fun.
Possibly.
Maybe.
I think the biggest conundrum is happy wife, happy life, because how do you win that argument in
There's two wives
in our household? The state at some point hit a climatic moment when a lot of extremism just kind of came in, and we went from kind of a happy medium balance to seeing those national trends show up here in a really profound way. I think a lot of it is because Idaho tends to be a testing ground for some of those most polarizing ideas that we see show up in the legislature. Even the current administration, the president in, I believe it was 2024, said that he was okay keeping marriage as it was, that it's working, we don't need to overturn same-sex marriage. So watching the extremism and the polarization of communities here has it just continues to increase. I'm not even sure that we have hit the peak of that climatic moment of what's going to happen when it comes to extremism. We knew that they always had a stigma about families like ours, but now they're targeting families like ours with things like this House memorial, which doesn't hold the weight of law, but still certainly models more stigma.
Doesn't hurt any less that it's not law.
Yeah. Hearing some of the testimonies and the pushback, particularly on the House side when I was there with community members, was the bill sponsor really talking about how this is supposed to be about states' rights and not allowing SCOTUS to do activism. But all of the arguments and the questions from the committee were centered around theology and pushing back on people from interfaith communities about scripture and belief systems, and that doesn't link back to SCOTUS activism or states' rights. They really made it about something else. So them saying it's about this, but then showing me and speaking to something else tells me that they're just not quite connected on our humanity.
And I think there's a misconception that like people within the LGBTQ community aren't people of faith. And there's a lot of people of faith.
Yeah.
We just, want to live our lives like everyone else.
Yeah, just want to live and work and play and hang out with our kids, and we're at that age where we like to hang out with my parents and like pay off student debt and,
Coach baseball. Let's get back to that. Let's worry about coaching baseball.
Yeah, little league type of stuff. We want to go on family trips and make memories and try to catch up on the scrapbooking for the kids' stuff, make it to all the parent events at our kids' school. We're just like everybody else.